Great stuff. Thank you, Brendan. Even if you're not a CEO, which I imagine there'd be quite a few of you not CEOs, please do send us something in. I see that there's quite a few questions come in during the webinar. Like I say, we won't get round to answer them live here because we're very conscious of time and everything else. But please, could you send in your questions, and we will address them post the webinar as well. Part of the reason we're not having questions is we have no moderator today as well, so we're flying solo on this one as well. So we will answer your questions if you send them in. So those are the two questions that the guys want to pose. What do you think is the most challenging aspect of being a good CEO? Like I say, have a send those in, please. And how would you help solve this problem? Okay. I'd like to invite Paul back just to some parting comments from Paul, and also to give himself 30 seconds of telling us what he does in other days of the week. And I'm sure you can contact him if you have an interest or some work around this area. So, Paul, have you got some concluding comments for us?
Thanks, Pete. I suppose the whole role of governance is about trying to find something that is fit for purpose, and it's tempting, I think, to try and download or find some package solution that says, if you look like this and you behave like this, everything will work. Human nature being what it is, we know that's not the case, and I think that is probably the critical element of working in consultancy, whether you're working in a state department with sports, or whether you're in a national body, or whatever your particular background is. It's about tailoring a solution. Yes, we use some of the information that we've shared with you about, the guiding principles, but ultimately it is about best fit. What will work for you at this point in time, perhaps moving you towards a better model down the track. And I'm also reminded myself of a saying I've used for many years now, and that's that the gestation of a good idea in sport is about 2 years. And while it might sound a bit derogatory, the reality is from the time that a sport looks at something reasonably substantial, like a governance review or something quite large, from the time that they embrace the concept to actually seeing action on the ground, it's not unusual for it to be 12, 18, 24 months. So being, I think a bit more relaxed about it, and also being patient. Certainly I've learnt patience, which will surprise some of those of you who know me. But it does take time. And I think that's the whole thing, is set the agenda, know where you're heading, but be gentle, I think, with the people you work with and your colleagues, and also some of the clients that you may have, because you're all heading hopefully in a positive direction. That's pretty much how I spend my week. Brendan.
Okay, thanks, Groves. I'll just chip in that we will be putting details of how to contact Paul and Brendan as well in the library area, which I'll explain in just a second. But Brendan.
Thanks, Pete. And yeah, look, just following on from Paul, my key areas of focus, I suppose, as I said at the beginning, is starting with the basics, getting the governance right, getting the strategic plan right, then making sure you have the right structure in place, and then you have the right people in place. But most importantly, and some of the things we've talked about today, and Paul mentioned, getting that behaviour right. So sticking to the principles, sticking to the guidelines and the policies, all the work that you put into getting that base right. If you've got that under control, it's going to help you enormously in developing your business and growing your business. And in the business of sport, we need to make sure that we are operating in a fairly professional manner and in a business-like manner. So thanks again for your attendance today, and look forward to seeing some of the questions come in over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you very much, Paul and Brendan, for your input today. There will be a third webinar in this series coming up, which we'll notify you of once you've organised that. And that'll be put together as a little mini-series as a collective around this topic on the iWebinar.com.au site. A couple of people have asked, where do we access materials? All the materials, including the presentation, PowerPoint, the video, which will be edited, the questions coming in, and any other relevant links that guys give me will be in the iWebinar.com.au site, in the library section there, where all the webinars are stored, and you can access all the materials from the webinars conducted by iWebinar.com.au, and also find out, of course, how to contact Brendan and Paul as well. So thank you very much for your attendance. Like I say, this is one of three. This is second of three in this little series here. I will bunch them together on the library area, so that you'll be able to easily access the complete series here and all the materials that go with it. Do keep sending in your questions. I'll leave the webinar. I'll mute myself in a second, but I'll leave the webinar open if you want to send in some more questions for a few more minutes yet. But thank you again for your attendance, and please watch out for our future webinars as well. So my name is Peter Downs, and on behalf of Paul and Brendan as well, thank you very much for your attendance today.